Hi guys, happy Tuesday. Welcome to the second group live stream. I want to say a couple of things before I bring anybody up. First of all, I hope everybody is staying safe with the weather right now. I don't know what it's like where y'all are at, but the wind is kind of crazy here. And I do want to warn you guys, like, I don't want to speak anything. I don't want to jinx myself, but if the stream ends very suddenly, it's because the power went out. I'm hoping that that doesn't happen. I do want to say, have everybody wish Megan well. She's not going to be able to participate tonight, at least as of right now, because she does not have power. The other thing is people are going to be coming and going. Tara has to dip out in probably a little bit less than an hour, and some people might not be able to come up until later. So that's fine. We'll just bring people in and out. I do have some 5 topics or questions that I came up with for tonight. So I'm not really sure how we're going to structure that because everybody's not going to be in at the same time. But you know me, I'm super informal. I'm not overly worried about it. We're just going to kind of play it by ear. So I'm hoping some more people, I see Tara is hanging out backstage. I'm hoping some more people are going to come in shortly. What else was I going to say? Oh, I was also going to say, welcome Kevin as the newest member of my moderation team. You know what? I thought of it last week. I made him a mod last week and I was like, why didn't I do this from the beginning? The only reason that I didn't make Kevin a mod from the very beginning was because I felt like it was going to be too much pressure. I didn't want to pressure him to feel like he needed to be here when he couldn't be here. So anyway, I thought of that. I think it was last Friday or Saturday, and I did make him a mod. So welcome Kevin to the moderation team. So I'm hoping some more people are going to stop in. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 people who may potentially come up. So let's see. Let's check the comments. Welcome, Ben. He says cool beans. Hey, Rev, Rashim, how are you doing? Good evening, Kimmy, and I'm praying for you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I can always use prayers. Tara, I actually don't see you. I see that you're backstage, but I don't see you there. I'm not sure if you do. Okay, now I see you. All right. I was just going to wait a couple more minutes and see if anybody else popped in quickly, but I'm going to, if you're good, can you give me a thumbs up if you're ready to come up now? Okay. All right. I'm going to pull Tara up now. Let me hang on 1 second. Hey there.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm chilling. I'm good. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Surprisingly, I'm nervous tonight. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, you're managing a lot. Can you hear the vacuum cleaner in the background?
I can't. I'm not sure.
You cannot?
No, you keep freezing for me, but I'm not sure if that's me. I'm not sure if that's an issue on my end.
But no, that's good. I don't want you to hear the vacuum cleaner in the background.
Okay, well, I can't hear it.
That's good. I'm gonna put my headphones in. Bear with me.
Okay. Let's see. Rev Rashim says, what advice do you have for dealing with toxic people at work? That's actually a really good question.
Yeah.
I'm always of the mindset that work should stay at work. I think you're coming into really dangerous territory if you try to get overly friendly with people that you work with. And I get it. It happens. I've been there. I've done that. And it's never really worked out well for me. So I try to keep work. I don't, coworkers, I don't get overly friendly. They don't know too much about me. I don't hang out with them outside of work. That's really kind of the best advice I can give. Tara, I don't know if you have anything that you want to add to that.
It's a really good question. I think remembering to not internalize things that happen, it's the hardest thing in the world to do sometimes, but not taking things personally is a really important aspect of dealing with people who might be deemed as toxic. I dealt with this person. It was a boss, actually. I've had some really good bosses before, but I've also had some really challenging ones. And I had to document everything that not everything that she said, but I had to document at one point the things that she was doing because it got to the point where it took my focus off of work. And so
Mhm.
I don't harp on this all the time, but bringing that information to my therapist was really helpful. And then also, I never got to the point where I reported it to HR, but I really, looking back, could have, and it would have been a good move for me too, because I ended up having to switch teams and work for
Mhm.
someone else who ended up being a great boss. He actually contacts me regularly and offers me jobs still. But I think for me, I like to remove myself from situations if it's not working for me. So it's like coping mechanisms work to a point, but ultimately, if someone is too toxic, I just want to remove myself.
Yeah, I agree. I actually had a boss once, and I loved my job, but I was so uncomfortable. It was to the point where I was literally feeling physically sick every day before I had to go into work. She was like, I would go to her to confide in her, "Hey, I need time off for this really personal thing going on in my life." And then everybody else would know about it the next day. And it was not a good situation at all. I'm so glad to not have to deal with any of that crap where I'm at right now. But yeah, I can definitely relate. Let's see.
Have you ever tried talking to the person before, or would you just rather not?
I think where I'm at now in my life, I would. But this was, let's see, 8 and a half, 9 this was probably almost 11 years ago, and I don't at that point, no, I was not in a place where I would have felt comfortable to talk to her about it, but absolutely, I think that would have been a great thing to do. I don't in this situation, I don't know if it would have made any difference, to be honest with you,
Right.
but yeah, it's a good thing to do. Um, Ben says, good practice, document when people get toxic at work, because if nothing else, it could be valuable to someone else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. If I were to do that situation all over again, I would absolutely go to HR.
Yeah. Ben says, with toxic people, I notice that I have to take breaks and actually leave to have lunch for my own mental health to have that break. Yeah, having breaks is really, really important. Um, absolutely. Uh, let's see. All right. Nobody else is here yet. So I want to make sure, like I said, Tara, I don't know when people are going to be stopping in and out, but I do have like 5 questions and I want everybody to have the opportunity to answer them if they desire. Obviously, they don't have to. Um, so I'm not sure. I might just, I don't know, maybe wait another few minutes to see who comes in.
Cool.
And I think Morrison is going to read his portion of the poem that he contributed that he wasn't able to read last week.
Nice. Very nice.
Um, So I think Rob was chilling backstage for like 5 minutes before I went live, and now he's not there anymore. So I don't know what's up with that. Tala is here. Okay. I posted the link earlier. Let me go ahead and post it again. Um, thanks so much for your honesty. So do you have any updates, Tara? Because that's one thing I'm going to ask when everybody comes up is how they're doing, if they have any updates that they want to give.
Any updates? Well, in terms of my mental health recovery, I just had my 8th treatment for ketamine therapy, and that went really well. So Marky's here. Marky's here. So Marky, guess what? I took the hero dose. I asked for the hero dose. I actually went for it this past session,
Mhm.
meaning that, so for my weight, my nurse practitioner was already administering the most ketamine that she could in a single session, which is 150 milligrams for me. She was administering 100 and then doing a 50 milligram booster 30 minutes after the initial injection. So this time I took the hero dose just for you, Marky, and I took 150 milligrams all in the beginning.
Mhm.
And I will be doing that from now on. I loved the whole thing was better. Like the trip itself, like it's not so much about the trip for me, although I do enjoy the trip. The trip was shorter because with the booster, you get an extra 20 or 30 minutes of the psychedelic experience.
Right.
Afterwards, though, I noticed that because I got an extra 20 or 30 minutes to come back into my body, I did not feel wobbly on my feet. my words felt way more coherent. I felt more in control of like my body and my speech and everything. And I felt pretty good when I got home, like pretty normal. So I actually liked the hero dose, and I will be doing that moving forward. So that's a update for me, just my personal life. I'm like, I loved ketamine treatment this past session. The trip was a little more intense, obviously, not too much of a difference at all, and not, you know, it's a clinical setting. It's a clinically administered dose. So it's not like I'm tripping hard, like as if I was doing psychedelics on the street or something. But I feel pretty good. Like I feel shiny. I feel all right this week. And we are going to be tapering down my nurse practitioner is going to be going out of town the week after this weekend. So I have one more treatment session. I'm going to do the hero dose again. And then we're talking about switching to oral ketamine while she's gone. And then once she gets back, we're talking about tapering down the frequency of my treatments to once a month and seeing how that goes.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to ask you, it's only been 3 days since that, but I was going to ask you if you had noticed a difference in your mental health, but you said you're feeling shiny. Is that the word you use? Shiny?
I am feeling shiny. Yeah, definitely. It's been a little like this, just all transparency. It hasn't been completely like rainbows and butterflies, but I'm also on my lady cycle right now. So I think I got a little bit overwhelmed at one point because of that, but I don't think it had anything to do with ketamine treatment at all.
Okay.
I have another psychiatry appointment with my nurse practitioner on this Thursday. So we're going to check in and reevaluate at that time.
Okay, good. Sounds good. Well, like I said, I've got questions, but there's nobody else up here. So, Tala, are you going to pop up? Morrison should hopefully be here soon.
So I see, hey, Mike, I see, I'm free. Am I freezing? Is he saying that I was freezing?
Your audio hasn't frozen at all for me, but your video was freezing quite a bit. Yeah.
Oh, do you want me to plug in like a hard connection? I could do that.
That's up to you. I mean, it's whatever you want to do. I was just wondering if it was my internet connection. That's why I asked, but that's completely up to you. Let's see.
Mike, how is it now? If you're still watching.
You're frozen right now. Okay. Yeah. You were frozen for me for a minute, but, Rev Rashim says I'm working on not letting, on not letting what people say and thinking about me affect my moods. That's a really hard one for me. Really, really hard one for me. My mood can change at the drop of a hat anyway, but especially with other people, it's very tough for me. Okay. Morrison's coming up in 5. Do you have anything you want to say on that, Tara?
In terms of letting people affect moods, I think the better I feel, the less other people affect my mood. So if I'm focusing on self-care and really doing, everything I can to take care of myself, then it doesn't matter so much. I mean, I'm sensitive, so like I do get worked up from time to time, but I think that's as simple as I can put it. And that would be my comment there, is that the better I feel, the less it matters.
Yeah. One of the questions that I have to ask coming up is related to that. So I think I'm going to wait to explain more until I get to my answer for that question. Marky, thank you. By the way, hello, Marky. I know that you're busy, but the offer always stands. If you do decide that you want to come up, just let me know. He says, hit the thumbs up if you haven't done so yet. Thank you. I appreciate that. Also, Marky, I can't, Morrison's in here too, but if you guys wouldn't mind posting links to Tara's channel, Morrison's channel, Tala's channel, and Kevin's channel, I would appreciate it. Again, I'm sure everybody in here is already subscribed to those people, but what the hell? Oh yeah. He's got a little cold.
The voice is toast, he says. You want some jam for that toast, Marky?
Kevin says he'll hop on in about 15. Okay, cool. Cool. And Morrison said he'd be up in about 5. Trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, everything else is just questions. How is the weather for you? Are you having any weather issues out there, Tara?
The weather has been phenomenal. I was noticing today how beautiful it is. So it did rain a little bit, like a week ago or so, but the weather is absolutely gorgeous right now.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, East Coast is getting it with wind, and I think Marky was having like there's tornadoes from like Florida to Texas and
Yeah, that's what my
Georgia.
mom was. Yep, I heard the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the wind is crazy. It's crazy. And Marky says, "Don't get me all excited, Tara." Uh,
I'll reel it in for you, Marky. I'll reel it in.
he never wants it reeled in.
Oh, I just came unplugged.
Does anybody in here have any questions right now before other people come up? Let's see. Revershim says it was raining hard here in St. Petersburg, Florida. Okay. Yeah, it's not raining here right now, but it's just the wind. The wind has been really bad. And there's a lot of power outages. So hopefully that doesn't happen.
Did y'all hear about anything odd in Vegas? I won't. Well, it's your channel, so it's okay. Did you hear about Vegas?
I feel like I heard something, but I'm not sure if I tuned it out or what. What happened in Vegas?
Well, a couple things. So the courtroom thing happened. I just found out today, but my mom told me in one of her Telegram groups that the word is going around that the same thing that just happened in Miami happened again in Vegas.
Actually, no, I don't think that I've heard that. That's interesting though.
Yeah, but we looked it up, we couldn't find anything about it.
Huh. Yeah,
Not a single thing. So it's all just word of mouth at this point.
right. Right. Well, I'll tell you what, it's the climate of the world right now is terrifying. It's terrifying. So, all right, the link, I posted the link. All right, guys, where is everybody? Y'all know I'm not great at talking off the cuff here.
Maybe they're caught up in the rain.
That's true. That's true.
Rev coming in with the good
I
question.
think he asked this before. You want to go ahead and answer that, Tara?
I do believe in true love. Yeah. Do I believe in like, one true love forever? I mean, maybe for some people, but I think there can be seasons, and it's like how do we want to define true love? Like, do you mean in the romantic sense? Because I have friends that I truly love. But then there's the romantic sense, and I believe that I've truly been in love before. Has it manifested into lifelong partnership? No, I've never been married, and I don't have children. So what does it mean? That's very subjective, but I do believe in true love. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Morrison was backstage and he popped. I was just about to pull him up and he popped off again. I believe in love. I don't necessarily believe anymore that there's one person that you're meant for. Maybe I'm having a hard time believing that at this point. I think no matter what, you have to make it work. I don't know. It's probably not a great question for me right now because I'm a little bitter. That
Mm-hmm.
might not be the best question for me. He says he believes in true love. Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's nice to
Mm-hmm.
think about, right?
Mm-hmm. I think there can even be true self-love,
Hmm.
like it doesn't have to be in a romantic sense. I think there's all different types of love.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good goal to have. That's actually one of my biggest goals is to learn how to love myself, you know?
Mm.
So, and it's funny, my sister and her best friend, they always call each other, her female best friend always call each other their platonic soulmates.
Aw.
Marky says, "I'll love you long time." I love you, Marky. I love y'all. I don't know
Same.
where Morrison went, but
Yeah, same.
um, all right. Well, I'm gonna post the link again. Um, you know what? I guess I'm really torn as to whether to start the questions now. while they're
Yeah,
okay.
and just as a heads up, I think I just want to remind you, I have therapy, just my routine therapy at 5 o'clock. So just I won't be hopping off because I don't want to be here anymore. It's just I got to make that.
I
We're
got you.
we're gonna be talking about surfing tonight. I got a big homework assignment this week that I had to deliver on. So
Oh, good. Good.
What's up? What's up?
hey, Morrison,
How are you guys?
chilling.
Good. How are you?
Pretty good.
So Tara and I have already kind of given our updates. Did you want to talk a little bit about what's going on with you? And again, no pressure. You don't have to. It's completely up to you, whatever you want to share.
Yeah, I'm going through it right now. I just I'm going through like a difficult time mentally, which I've kind of shared with some people. But yeah, just mental health stuff. Kind of realizing that I thought I was in recovery, but I had the realization that actually I probably wasn't because I was uh, still abusing substances when I was in recovery. So yeah, I've been having a lot of realizations this past week, and it's been pretty humbling. But I'm just trying to stay positive, and I mean, I'm here tonight instead of getting high, so at least there's that.
And we are very, very glad of that. Very glad of
Absolutely.
Right.
that. Rev Rashim, I'm enjoying your YouTube channel, Kimmy and Tara. Thank you. So obviously we talked about it, but do you have any plans going forward now that you've made these sort of self-revelations as to what you intend on doing?
Yeah, so Tara actually helped me with some links. I've reached out to therapists, and so I'm trying to set those up. Also gonna go to like actual meetings for a little while, probably, pretty regularly. Um, and like I've kind of I've put up all the things that might trigger me in the house. I realized I was surrounded by tons of possible things that I could misuse. So it's just a matter of like actually getting rid of those, so I don't do that.
Yeah. And you kind of do you feel as if you're just not ready to get those substances out of the house yet?
Yeah, because it's a lot. Like I'm not gonna go through the list. I don't want to trigger anybody, but when I started realizing like, holy crap, like I have almost other than uppers, I don't have any uppers, but like I could really get messed up because I have so many things here. Um, so I put those things up, you know, but right now, as far as like tossing the Suboxone, like every day that I'm going through this, I'm like, maybe I should just get back on subs, maybe I'm not ready. So I'm not ready to throw that out. You know, so
Okay. Well, I can't speak for anybody else, but obviously it's going to be your choice as to how you move forward, but I'm here no matter what you decide to do, you know?
Same.
appreciate the support.
Absolutely.
It's a lot to deal with. It's a lot to deal with. You are here though. You made a really good point that you're here. I'm
Yeah, I
glad.
mean that's that's the best I can do right now,
It's enough.
Yeah.
Right now it's enough.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll start doing some of the questions, and if people come in later, I can always ask them. So the first question that I asked or that I thought we should talk about is at this time in your recovery or journey, how is your mental health? Do you feel that it's better or worse than it was in active addiction? Tara, do you want to go first?
Sure. My mental health today is better than it was in my active addiction. However, it's been a process getting to where I'm at now. I only started taking mental health meds a year ago, and I only started ketamine treatment about 2 months ago. And in that 18 months where I was clean and sober with no mental health medication, my mental health declined. I was told by everyone in AA that just stay clean and sober, it'll get better. But it just got worse and worse. And so that's why, I was on the verge of saying, screw this, and trying harder stuff than I ever had. I had a roommate who was an intravenous fentanyl user, and she was in active addiction. And I was living with that every single day when I was at the shelters, and it was tempting, and I got curious. And so I finally was like, you know what? I need to ask for help before I do something that could ruin my life. Like I wanted to die and I wanted to live all at the same time. And so I started mental health meds 18 months into my recovery, and it got worse. It made my depression worse. I did not have the right mental health meds for me. And it can take, I heard it could take a year, but I didn't want to believe it was so for me. And flash forward, now here we are. I'm at like 2 3/4 years into my recovery. I'm working on number 3 here. And I feel today better because I'm on the right mental health meds and started ketamine treatment, which has really been the game changer for me. Again, it's not for everybody, but for me, I can say I'm happy to report that today I feel better than I did in active addiction.
Good. I'm glad. Morrison?
No. But I mean, I'm in the beginning stages of getting off subs, so that's kind of where you have some realizations and you're like, I guess I'm not well, so it's a process. It's a healing process. So
Yeah. I have come to find out recently that my mental health right now, I believe, is a little bit worse than it was in my active addiction. As I've said many times before, that my addiction was sort of a means to self-soothe my emotional dysregulation and childhood trauma. And um, I used pills for a Band-Aid for so long that I kind of forgot that I had all of these underlying mental health issues. And I really was convinced in my head that once I got off the Norco and then got off the Suboxone, that I'd be healed. I'd be all better. And obviously now I'm dealing with like a relatively new diagnosis of a personality disorder. And I'm just trying to learn how to navigate without using anything to either numb myself or to make myself feel something. So I guess long story short, I would say that my mental health is a little bit worse now than it was in active addiction. So the next question I have is, what specific challenges do you face in maintaining good mental health and or recovery? Tara, do you want to go ahead and start?
Sure. Good question. I think the biggest thing for me is self-care. This is a part of the update piece that I didn't say in the video. I finally made it back to the gym today.
Oh, good.
awesome.
Yeah, it felt really, really nice. I mean, thank God it hasn't been like so long where I was just like, oh, it felt good. It was very therapeutic. I think though the past few months for me, I haven't wanted to be physical. I've kind of wanted to just be in a cocoon, and I guess that was probably what I needed at the time, but gosh, it feels so good to just like move around and be around other people. And I talked to somebody, met someone new. She was really, really nice. And we chatted after class, and I hope to see her again. I think it kind of goes back to like what I was saying before about like the better I feel, the less things bother me. And so yeah, that's how I would answer that question. I think the biggest challenge, if I have to pick more than one, maybe Morrison can answer and give me a little more time to think about it. But my gut, instinct, the first thing that jumps out at me is self-care has been the biggest challenge.
Okay. Morrison?
The biggest challenge is just I don't even know how to put into words right now, to be honest with you. It's just the place I'm at right now is just like making it each day. I'm kind of in survival mode, if I'm being completely honest. And every day, like the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs, I'm just saying, okay, well, today I'm not going to take subs. I'm not going to use, I'm just going to do my best.
Okay. It's a good answer. A lot of my answers aren't really going to have much to do with addiction because I don't feel that like right now, I don't struggle to stay in recovery. That's not really something that I deal with in my day-to-day life. So for me, the challenges that I'm facing right now in maintaining good mental health are the fact that, as I've talked about before, I've been recently opening up myself to different friendships and relationships for the first time in years. And oftentimes, it leaves me feeling very vulnerable, which then triggers my emotional dysregulation. And so I struggled with how I was going to deal with this. I felt bad dealing with it in this way, but right now how I'm dealing with this is by limiting my social interactions to what I can handle and having my regular interactions pretty much being with people that I feel completely safe and protected with. And that's just kind of what I have to do right now for myself. So
I have, if I can add one more thing, I did think of this because your question was challenges, plural. So the thing that popped up while I was listening to y'all speak is having hope. I think it can be really challenging to have hope when, especially in early recovery, like I was living at homeless shelters. It was really hard to have hope when I was in a serious depression and in denial about that. Even, I was in denial for a long time that I had PTSD and depression, but I couldn't get out of bed. It's like I'm living in a freaking shelter and I can't even get out of bed. I can't even think about getting a job to help me get out of the situation. And so in that moment, and also, in the beginning of the period of time where I started taking mental health meds, I wanted relief. I wanted improvement, and it got worse than it was in my active addiction. And so the challenge being having hope, I think, really sticks out to me. I think it's really easy to lose that, but it's such a critical piece of recovery.
For sure.
Yeah, I like that. That never even occurred to me, but I like that a lot. Having hope is something that I also struggle with. So Tala, come on up. I just posted the link again. Hey, Brandon, it's good to see you. I can't talk apparently. So the next question I have is, how has life changed for you since entering recovery? Tara, if you want to start.
Well, I was living in my car for 5 years in my active addiction when things got really bad. I mean, it was pretty bad before I quit to travel too. My alcohol consumption was sky high before I quit to travel. And then when I moved into my car, I was able to reel it in with the alcohol because I did not want to get busted with that. But I had transferred my addiction and was smoking all day, every day, marijuana. And so I just lost my train of thought. Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
Yeah. How has life changed for you since entering recovery?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So like I said, was living in my car. And then when I got clean and sober, I started living in shelters. And I don't live in shelters anymore. I have my own place today. I recently have been offered a job in peer support, which is exactly the route that I've been wanting to go in my life. I've started to engage in like physical activity again and have a lot more social connections, which for me is like the magic ingredient. For me, connecting with people and talking with people that I care about and who I know care about me, that's a huge piece of my pie. And I wasn't doing that before either. Like I was very much isolated. So I would say at this point, and again, like I'm almost 3 years into this. So if you're in early recovery, I don't want it to be like disheartening that, well, you're not there already. And even I still have a lot of work to do. I haven't started the job yet. I just got offered the job and took it. But I would say like everything has changed in my life for the better. That being said, there are things that I still want to work on. Like I shared in my 2020, like Happy 2024 live, that where I shared all my goals and resolutions for the year, that surfing is a huge thing that I want to incorporate back into my life this year. There's a lot of reasons that I'm going to be talking about with my therapist tonight as to what's holding me back from doing that. And it goes really deep. It's definitely not surface. So there are still things that I want to work on, but I would still go out on a limb and say that everything's changed and I'm in a much better place than I was.
Okay. I'm going to bring Kevin up now. What's up? Oh, he's still getting ready. Sorry.
Put my socks on. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
I can hear
Sound
you.
okay?
It's
You're
a little different.
quiet.
It's
Yeah.
a little different than your normal audio. I can hear you though.
Yeah, it took me forever to figure out how to get this set up not the normal way.
Okay.
But it's okay. It's loud enough.
It's loud enough.
I think it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Am I talking too loud or too quiet?
It's a little low.
A little low, but
Okay. I'll try and speak up.
Yeah, speak from that diaphragm.
Kevin, do you want to answer any of the questions that we just talked about?
Yes, I'm actually really glad that you brought the one up about the updates, because I have a pretty big update. It's maybe not the best thing in the world. It's probably not the update people are thinking. Are you ready?
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, same.
I got another Sublocade shot.
You did.
Yep. I got another Sublocade shot. I don't know if you guys knew, but I had my doctor had it ordered. Like he's had it sitting in his office for a while now. And man, that sleep was just kicking my butt for a while now. I don't know if you guys have heard me talk about how bad my sleep has been, but it's going on for a long time. And I was just like, I kept thinking about it. I was like, I need some more sleep, man. This is not working. But yeah, I got a half of a 100 milligram Sublocade shot the end of last week, and man, I'm sleeping real good right now. So I'm happy about that.
So how long did that take after you got the shot that you like felt a difference? Was it pretty quick?
Yeah, the same night, the next morning.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy how big of a difference it is. I don't know if you guys remember, like when I first started Sublocade, like how good I was sleeping, and now I'm back to sleeping really good. So I don't know. But I figured since it was free and it was a $2,000 shot, it's like I got nothing to lose. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this shot and get some sleep again. So yep, I took half of 100 milligrams, so just a little 50 milligram shot, and I'm actually feeling really good about it. So I thought maybe I would kind of be, maybe like feeling the type of way about it, but I'm really not. So at least there's that.
How
good,
long
man.
since your your last shot before this was in April, right?
Yep.
So how long after
Wow.
that shot did it take until you really started until the sleep issues really started to catch up to you?
If I can remember right, I would say it was sometime around, God, let me think. No, mid to late November, I think, somewhere right around there. My sleep really kind of started taking a dive.
7 months.
That's kind of right around the same time. 6 months, 7 months. Yeah, 7 months.
Mm.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
a long
so
time.
it's interesting because Yeah, it's just interesting to hear how different everybody's experience has been with Sublocade. You know, sometimes people say they don't have any issues until a year later. Sometimes people are saying 2 months later. But the one thing I have noticed is that even the people that said that they didn't have withdrawal, quote unquote withdrawal from Sublocade, they all still mentioned that they had sleep issues, and that's definitely the main thing that I noticed for sure. Um, was the
Wow.
was my sleep was really bad. Like I was waking up at like 4 or 5 in the morning every morning, and it's like I don't have enough sleep in me, right? And I couldn't fall back asleep. So yeah, pretty
If I can,
interesting.
it is interesting. And if I can ask Kevin, was there anything else going on? You said the number one thing is sleep. Was there anything else that was going on that made you want to get another one?
Just the fact, the main thing was that it wasn't going to cost me anything. And then also the fact that my depression I had noticed was a little bit abnormally um, worse than before.
Mm.
And so I don't know, I've kind of talked about my depression here and there, but it's just been like something that's been kind of like, just kind of that blah feeling. It's like I had that more often than not. And so it's just like after so long of that, it's just like, dude, I need a little bit of relief here.
So do you have plans to, are you going to kind of play it by ear as to whether you decide to get another shot or?
Well, I honestly don't think I'll be able to get another shot just because my insurance is canceling now. So that's another reason why I just wanted to get it done because like I said, it was free. My insurance is going to be canceling. And so I'm definitely not going to be paying cash for another shot. So unless
Mm,
somehow I get insurance in the future, I don't see me getting another one.
okay.
Honestly,
Um,
though, like I wouldn't really mind. Like if I could go in every 6 months or something and get a little shot, I don't really give a shit about that. You know, to be honest with you, I just don't want to feel like shit for months on end. I don't want to have to sleep like shit for months on end. It's a small inconvenience to go get a little 5 minute shot and then you just feel normal after that. Like you don't feel it. You don't feel it, kick in every day like I did when I was on Suboxone. I don't have to think about it ever. It's not really anything I even think about.
right. So did you want to answer any of the other questions I asked or no? As to like
Yeah. Remind me what
how,
they were again.
yeah. So at this time in your recovery, how is your mental health as compared to how it was during active addiction?
Oh, I heard each of you guys' responses. I was taking care of some business as I was listening in, but my mental health is way better now than it was when I was in active addiction. Every day that I would take painkillers, I would look in the mirror and my eyes were so glazy looking, and like I was just like, you could just see the pain in my eyes. You know what I mean? Like so much like hidden, just shitty feelings, and like nobody knew I was going through addiction back then but me basically, and just with how much money I was spending and not being able to get out of that toxic cycle, and then also having toxic relationships on top of that, man, it's a huge difference. Like my mental state is much better these days than it was for sure. Like that's not even comparable to me. Like if I had to, I still have depression here and there. It's not like the worst depression. I think honestly, what I'm describing as depression is low dopamine levels in my body. Probably because I fried my dopamine. I maxed out my dopamine for so many years with painkillers that my body's just like, you can only have so much happiness now. um, but as far as like if I could put, a 1 to 10 happiness level as far as like my mental health goes, in my active addiction, I was like at 1 or a 2 on a daily basis. And I would say these days I'm probably right around a 5 or a 6 on a daily basis. So way better, like much improved. Obviously not perfect. Um, so yeah.
So kind of random, but when you were in the middle of your active addiction, did you still go to the gym every day?
Yes, every single day. That's actually the thing that probably saved my life through my active addiction. Is that like the one thing I had to look forward to after my pain meds wore off?
Mike says, so your last shot was 9 months ago. You started to finally feel the withdrawals, and that's why you got another shot, or am I missing something?
I don't think it was 9 months ago. It was in mid to end of April. Timmy
7.
just said that was that
Like
7 months
7
ago?
months.
7 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, so about 7 months. I would say I really kind of started to notice the main issues somewhere around like a month and a half ago, mid-November, I think it was, if I can remember right. And I don't want to call it withdrawals. I don't want to scare anybody. It definitely wasn't like a Suboxone withdrawal. And I don't even know if it was fully worn off yet. You know what I mean? Like, to me, like I'm not wrapping my head too much around um, I need to be off bupe, because it's just not holding me back at this point in my life. I don't feel like how it was when I was having to watch the clock, daily dosing myself with Suboxone, and having to cut deals with myself on my daily doses of Suboxone, and never having to worry about overusing my bupe for the day. And so that's why it's probably why I'm not feeling any certain type of way, because I did take another shot. I wasn't really sure if I would feel that way, but I'm not feeling that way at all, thankfully.
So I
Did
had
that answer the question?
yeah, but it was 9 months. April was 9 months ago. I don't know what
No,
happened.
I think what we were getting at though, 7 months he started having sleep troubles.
No, I know, but
So
yeah.
Yeah.
right.
All right. I'm gonna bring Tala up
Wow,
now.
dude, April doesn't
It
sound
is
like
9 months ago. Yeah.
it doesn't
Yeah.
sound like that long ago. Damn, that's crazy.
All right. Here's Tala. I think he's just on audio only. Oh, there he is. Hello.
Yo, 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 yo.
What's up, bro?
Hey,
What up,
baby.
what up? Ooh,
What's up,
baby.
Kev?
Good to see you,
Man,
man.
good to see you, bro.
Tala, do you want to give an update on how you're doing?
Man, I'm on 1 gram. 1 gram of kratom a day. And I thank the Archery King pills because that's helping me out too. My hemp tea, that helps me sleep. But none of this goes without, an amount of withdrawals. I'm getting them, but because I have the Archery King and then I have the hemp tea that I drink before I go to bed, it helps. It sort of takes the edge off a little bit. But the worst part is in the middle of the night, like literally in the middle of the night when I'm sleeping. That's the worst. I'll feel it, then I'll wake up. I'll get tempted to take another dose, but I don't. And I make me another tea and just go back to sleep. Just trying to get through it, just like everybody else.
Yep.
Tala, do you want to answer any of the questions that we've I have some more questions, but any of the ones that we previously talked about, do you want to answer any of them? I can read them again for you.
Shoot.
Okay, so the first question is, at this time in your recovery, how is your mental health? Is it better or worse than it was in active addiction?
It's better. It's better because I say that because you're not going to level up unless you get hurt. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to level up unless you feel pain. So I think each time that I go through these things, if I do get through it, if I do recover, I get better. My mental health becomes stronger and stronger.
Okay. The other question was, what specific challenges do you face in maintaining good mental health and or recovery?
Sorry, say that again?
What specific challenges do you face in maintaining good mental health and or recovery?
Being tempted to take another dose. Being tempted to do another dose. Doing more than what I should be doing. That's the hardest part. And that's because the withdrawals. Mm-hmm. Just to feel normal. You guys all know how that is. And it's a matter of fighting and just getting through it, getting through that ugliness, getting through that feeling that we all don't like. One thing I do like, there was a video that Kev did back in the day. He said, it's going to pass. It's going to pass regardless. So that's good advice. No matter what we think or whatever pain we're going through, if you do get past it, it's done. It's on to the next thing. You know what I'm saying? So that motivates me too.
I like that answer. Kevin, you didn't answer that question. Do you want to answer that one?
Say it one more time. Sorry.
What specific challenges do you face in maintaining good mental health and or recovery?
I don't feel like I don't know. At this point in my recovery, as far as like where am I as far as like active addiction goes, I don't ever even think about it anymore. I really don't. It doesn't even cross my mind ever. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't really feel like I have a lot of, as far as like active addiction stuff goes, and going back to that lifestyle. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm a good responder for that question.
If I can chime in on this, so one of my answers, Kevin, was hope. Having hope for the future has been a big challenge of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And your answer gives me hope that it's going to get easier with time. So thank you for that.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, it's something that I've seen a lot of people, who, especially people who are recent into getting out of active addiction, they're like constantly being bothered by the demons of wanting to relapse to the hard drugs, right? And they're like, when is this feeling going to go away? I don't feel like it's ever going to go away, but as far as my experience goes, it definitely goes away. You just have to keep, it just gets easier with time. Just like when you lose a loved one or when your dog passes away, it fucking sucks for a while, but after a while, those days start to space out, and that lifestyle is so far behind you that you can't even picture you going on that road again.
Well, that kind of leads into my next question, and some of you guys already answered it. Is do you struggle daily to stay in recovery? And my answer is no, I do not. I know now if I'm having cravings, it's because I want to numb myself, I want to soothe myself. But if I wasn't talking about this stuff with you guys on a regular basis, I probably wouldn't even really think about pain pills at all. I'm sure occasionally, but not on a regular basis. So I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. Tara, do you want to go first?
Absolutely. It depends on the day, is my answer. It depends on the week. For me, I've had weeks recently where, like just 2 weeks ago, I had to have 3 therapy sessions with my therapist, which is totally abnormal. And a couple weeks before that, I was having cravings. So, but I also had cravings during my 3 therapy session week. So it just depends. I'm not having cravings at all. I had a friend say, "Oh, I won't say that because I don't want to trigger you." And it's like, I'm not having cravings right now, so you're not going to trigger me. You can ask me anything you want. But I appreciate people being respectful and asking and giving trigger warnings for the times that I am struggling. So my answer is just that it depends on the day as to whether I'm having daily struggles.
Okay. Morrison, I kind of feel bad asking you to answer this question. So that's
Well, for like 7 years on Suboxone, I didn't have any cravings. Now I'm craving everything. So, it's like I said before, it's super humbling to realize, like, was I ever really in recovery? Like, was Suboxone just a Band-Aid for me not to deal with deeper underlying issues?
But why is it that you feel that you weren't in recovery on Suboxone? Is it because you weren't taking it
Because
in
I
the
was
way that it was
abusing it.
prescribed? Okay.
Yeah, I was abusing it.
Okay.
How are you abusing it?
I would up my I would up my dose sometimes, and then I would lower it back and
Yeah.
forth to get that feeling. And it's almost like Suboxone became like my drug of choice. So I'm realizing that now. Like when I was doing it, I was just like, oh, this is really hard for me to taper. This is, going to be difficult. But now that I'm reflecting back on it, it's like, yeah, it's kind of that lie you tell yourself, and then when you're away from it, you have a lot of realizations. But I'm not even
Yeah,
craving pain pills right now. It's I just find myself craving uppers, which I haven't done those, and I mean I had some slip ups. I'm not gonna say I haven't, but for like 10 years, I went to pain pills to basically get off uppers. So
Okay. Um, Kevin, you kind of already answered that question, but I don't know if you have anything that you want to add to it. And the last question, as to whether you struggle daily to stay in recovery.
no, I don't.
Okay.
But it's easy for me to say because, like I said, I just got another Sublocade shot. So
yeah,
maybe that's making it a
yeah,
lot easier for me to say. You know what I mean? So I don't. It's hard for me to gauge really, just because I don't feel the Sublocade shot. It's just there, and you don't ever feel it. So it's really hard for me to say. Um, yeah, it's something that I guess I couldn't really comment on right now. But I don't have any thoughts about using street drugs ever, 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 ever. So I'm okay with that.
Tala, would you like to answer that question?
What's the question?
Can I interrupt for just 1 second? I have to gracefully bow out because I have to run to therapy. But it's been a pleasure. I appreciate all of you. And Kimmy, thank you for having me on.
Thank you for coming, and we'll talk to you later.
yeah. It's
Pleasure.
good to
See you
see you,
later.
Tara.
Good to see
Night.
you.
Bye,
Absolutely.
T. Have a good night.
See you later.
Peace.
So
Bye,
the
alligator.
question, Tala, is: do you struggle daily to stay in recovery?
Man, uh, depends on what struggle is. Like for me, I'd have to honestly say yes. That the truth is yes. I do struggle. Uh, I'm not failing, but that doesn't mean that I'm not hurting and struggling to get by each day. It hurts, but success is what I'm after, and I know if I continue to fight this fight and keep going down, weaning off of K, then I will be successful when it comes to this addiction being gone. I don't want this anymore. I want to feel normal. I want to know how it feels to be normal again. I'm just sick of all this. Even coffee. Like, I like coffee and all that, and I just want to know how it feels to be completely normal again. And I
Exactly.
know it's a calling on the Father to tell me, hey, you got to stop this stuff, man. If you want to be fully connected, you have to be fully sober minded. So that's one of the main reasons. And Slomo was actually one of the guys that motivated me. When he told me that, he said, man, I don't think we're fully connected when we're doing these addictions, when we're addicted to these things. And I thought about it. I was like, man, he's right. I got to kick this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm doing right now. 1 gram a day.
That's awesome. So I only have one more question, and I'm not even really sure why I included this because it's not necessarily directly related to addiction or even mental health, but what values are most important to you in your friendships, relationships, support system? Morrison, do you want to answer first?
Um, I guess just, somebody that's going to be loyal through it all. I mean, during our struggles, like our weaknesses, we need people to step in. Just like Tala was saying, like I encouraged him, he's encouraging me right now. Like I'm not having any slip ups. I still haven't, done anything, but like we need to encourage each other, because we're gonna go through struggles. So
Okay. Talo, do you want to answer that question?
Man, I'm so sorry. Can you please ask that again?
Sure. What values are most important to you in your friendships, relationships, support system?
Honesty, genuinity, truth. It's one thing to have a friend. It's one thing to think that you have a friend, but then the whole time, they're not genuine. There's no life in that. You know, if you find people who are like-minded and truly friends and they're truly trying to help you out, man, that's something money cannot buy, literally. And it's powerful. People don't realize the value in that. When you find like-minded folks, they don't got to be saved. They don't got to be, they don't got to be holy or whatever. The thing is, if they're being honest with the way they are and they're trying to seek help, they're trying to find someone to vent to, they're trying to find someone to get info from to kick their addiction, that's what matters to me, man. And helping them, spending the time to, hear what they say, being an open ear to listen to them. So for me, it's genuinity. It's being truthful.
Kevin, do you want to answer that?
For me, what is important in a support system is understanding that we're all different and that everybody is going through their own struggles. There was a long time that I was making videos on YouTube, and I literally thought that it was only my way or the highway, right? Like if you didn't agree with everything that I was saying, I didn't want you around, right? And over the last year or two, I've really been realizing that everybody's circumstances are totally different, and what works for somebody might not work for somebody else. And I think just supporting people with where they're at is a really important part of this whole thing that we're doing here on YouTube. Somebody might be totally okay and content being on Kratom or Suboxone or whatever it is, right? And that's okay. We don't need to make them feel like they're not up to par with everybody else because they are okay being on certain medications, right? And so I just think that understanding that not everybody self-guilt themselves, not everybody overuses their Kratom or Suboxone or whatever it is, right? That there are some people out there who can successfully be happy on treatment. So that's what they're for. So I think just understanding that everybody is, of needing of support and support of where they're at in that moment. And if they're happy with that, then great. If not, then make some changes, right? For sure. So I don't know if that was the right way to answer that question, but that's how I feel about it. Just being open-minded to everybody's circumstances.
Okay. I said for me, I value honesty above all. I don't want to ever be enabled. I don't want to be placated. I want, if I'm friends with somebody and they see that I'm doing something that could potentially jeopardize my recovery, my mental health, I want them to be honest with me about it. Hey, I think you're making a mistake here, because that's kind of my style. That's what I, maybe not so much on YouTube, but off YouTube, that's what I do. I can't help it, right or wrong. And the other thing that I value most is feeling understood, which I struggle with because I feel all the time like people don't understand me. But that's the other thing that I value, feeling heard and understood. So that's actually the last question that I had. I should have come up with more. So I don't know if anybody has anything else that they want to talk about. Brandon was backstage and he's gone, so I don't know where he went.
If I could just piggyback off what Kev said,
Mm-hmm.
when he said, back in the day he used to, it was his way or the highway. I was the same way. I was the same way when I first started. Like if people didn't believe what I believed, I would literally block them from my channel. Literally, like, oh my God, you don't believe me. You don't understand where I'm coming from. And then I realized, man, that's why I commented on his previous live stream, I think it was, and I told him I love the fact that he pointed out that everyone is different. We all have a different understanding, and we need to sort of empathize with that, and capitalize. And I love that, man. I love that. I understand that now because it also makes you more humble, and yeah.
Okay. I actually have a really quick Kratom question. I know people were mentioning that, I'm not talking about the extracts, but that maybe the pills were not as, or the capsules were not as didn't have as good efficacy as the powder, but couldn't you, if you didn't want to take the powder, couldn't you go buy those like empty capsules and fill them with the powder if you needed to dose that way? Is that an option? I'm just curious.
Yeah, a lot of people
Okay.
do that.
Do they? Okay. I don't know why I thought of that, but the random things that pop into my head.
I got a question while we're talking about kratom. Slomo, what's going on with you and kratom? I haven't heard any updates on that. Are you doing okay with it?
Yeah, so I take about 4 grams to 6 grams a day. I had an injury, I have a burn on my hand, so I upped
Yeah,
it a
I
little
heard
bit for
about that.
that.
What happened?
Yeah, bro. It was just like I was dealing with my car, man, and it's a second degree burn. So they
What the hell?
prescribed me pain pills, man, and yeah, they gave me Dilaudid in the ER and then like 20 Norcos, and I only took 3 of those, and then I was like, this is not a good idea. So I discontinued those, but I did up my kratom just a hair. But I actually am able to have a pretty good relationship with kratom right now, just using it as a tool. So
Good. So what was the experience like when you took those painkillers? Did you feel euphoria, or it didn't really work like that?
I mean the Dilaudid, yes, I did, but Norcos was never really my thing. I just back in the day I would have Norcos in case I ran out of Roxy's, you know what I mean? To not go into withdrawals.
Yeah.
Um, but I noticed after I took like those 3 Norcos, my mental health just tanked, dude. Like it got super
Mhm.
bad for a couple of days. So
Just
I
guilting
mean,
yourself?
no, it was bad, man. It like panic attacks. I felt like I was on the verge of losing my mind. Like it was really bad. But there was a lot of other things going on, so I don't fully like attribute that to the Norcos, but I don't think they helped.
Yeah.
So, but after I stopped
How are
taking
you
them, I
taking the
felt
kratom?
better.
Are you still
But
sipping the kratom slowly, or what? How are you taking it?
yeah, I'm still sipping it. Yep, throughout like a few hours,
Yeah,
just sipping on it.
that's a really interesting way that you're doing it. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody taking it that way.
That's what I said.
Yeah, seems to work better that way, man. Because I feel like if I was just chugging it, it would kind of make me want to keep doing that. Like if I'm just sipping on it, I'm
Yeah.
good.
Mike says, how many days ago was your burn? It was Thursday, right? So 5 days.
Yeah,
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 how's your
5
burn
days.
healing, bro?
It's doing pretty good actually. Yeah, it's healing pretty good.
So you're doing what, like between 4 and 6 grams of kratom a day?
Yeah, yeah. Today I've done only 4 grams so far, and I'll probably leave it at that. Just at night, I've been taking that extra like 2 gram dose because of the irritation and pain in the hand. But yeah, I'm trying to keep it super low and like I'm not taking it to feel something, I'm trying to keep it at like, hey, this is just where I'm at right now. I'm just gonna take it until like my mental health gets a little more regulated, and I'm a little more stable, so I can start coming off the kratom. Because I'm where Tala's at. Like, I don't feel like quitting these things. I feel like taking Suboxone right now, but I'm not gonna do that. Like, there comes a point where, for me, I just have to be done with all this. You know?
I mean, I told you earlier, I kind of hate to say it, but I'm impressed that you're only doing 4 to 6 grams a day after having gotten a taste of Dilaudid and then, the pain pills. I think it's pretty impressive that you're still only taking that
Oh
dose.
yeah, Yep.
Yeah, and especially with the cravings, like that was like earlier. I was sitting around. I mean, I said this to you, Kimmy. I was like, I have freaking pain pills here. I have like I had all these things I could have done, and I was not doing any of it. But the cravings were coming at me. Like that little demon on my back was like, you got to do something. But I just was just shutting it out. And sometimes it gets like that. I mean, we're not going to feel ready to come off these things. You just have to make the decision. And if you're not ready, you're not ready. I'm not down on anybody that's not ready.
Yeah.
But if I sit around and wait till I'm ready, it's not going to happen. I just know me.
I get that. I don't think that that's the same for everybody because I was ready. I was going to be done.
Yeah,
And I'm
for
talking
sure.
about getting off Suboxone, not getting off of Norco. I was done. That was it. And I totally just forgot what I was going to say before that. Crap. I don't know. Somebody say something while I think of it.
That's good, 473.
I got
That's good, bro.
I got some more questions for you, Kingdom.
Yep, yep.
So I'm trying to remember what dose you were at on the kratom, and how has your taper been? What have you been feeling as you've been tapering down to 1 gram?
Man, the feelings aren't good. It's mostly a head. I told Kimmy yesterday, my head feels like it's vibrating. Like it literally feels like someone like there's a helmet on me and it's just and then restless leg is annoying. Just not being able to sleep, so that that gram, that 1 gram of kratom with my hemp tea helps just enough to get, I would say, 3 hours of sleep. About 3 hours. And then I wake up again, take more of my hemp tea, then go back, knock back out.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that my legs aren't moving. When I'm laying, my legs are like moving.
Yeah.
I'm trying to sleep, getting through it. But the thing is, I get through it.
Have you tried the restful legs?
Yeah, that's what I was going to recommend. The Highlands.
I have not.
Yeah.
I would suggest
Dude,
that,
you
man.
gotta
That
try
helped
that.
me.
I'll look into that for sure.
It helped me.
What's it called?
Yeah, you
I'll
get it
send
at
you a
Walmart.
picture of it later.
Yeah, send me a link or something.
Yeah.
For sure.
You gotta make sure that you get the kind for nighttime. It's like
Yep.
$10 at Walmart.
Okay.
And make sure
But-
that you read the instructions. You gotta take like 3 or 4 of them under your tongue.
Okay.
And then if it doesn't go away within 15 minutes, take another 3 or 4 of them under your tongue.
Yep.
And so that's what I had to do when I was going through Suboxone withdrawal. Every night, restless legs would kick in at like 8:15 on the
Yeah.
dot.
Right,
It was
yep.
so weird. It was like you could set your fucking watch to that thing kicking in.
Yeah, it
It's
sucks,
loud.
man.
Take a bunch of those under my tongue, set my time for 15 minutes. If I still felt that burning sensation in my knees, then I would take 3 more and keep doing that till it goes away.
Nice.
But I mean, it's worth a try. It's only $10.
Okay. No, I'll for sure look into that now. I'll take that with my
Yeah.
hemp tea.
Yeah,
That
dude.
combination
I
should be
couldn't have
wonders.
slept without it, honestly.
What's in it? Is it magnesium?
That's a good
There's a
question.
whole bunch of natural ingredients in it.
Nice.
But Tala, what I was going to say to you, and I know I've said it to you before, like having chronic pain issues it's like a whole other layer that's added. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? As far as like your withdrawal. And have you guys ever heard of that like vibration in your face as a symptom of withdrawal? Because when you said that to me, my first thought was, well, that's the rheumatoid arthritis like kicking back up because
And
you're
then jaw pain.
right.
Yeah,
So
I
kinda wanna
haven't,
look
but
up-
That might be RA related.
right.
Or just a combination of both.
Right. I kind of want to look up the ingredients for the Highlands. I don't know why it matters, but so Rachel says, hopefully she's going to be able to pop up, but she says that she's listening. Oh, she just texted me. She just sent me the ingredients to Highlands. Yeah, I can't pronounce any of these. Can't pronounce one of them. I do not see magnesium though, so that's interesting. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, send me a link, Slow-Mo, whenever you have the chance.
I will, bro.
I'm gonna for sure
Yeah,
stop by the store.
I still have them. So,
And you said they have it at Walmart, right?
Yep.
mhm.
Perfect.
Kevin,
Yeah,
you
good
didn't.
stuff.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Nice.
Kevin, you didn't mention the Sublocade shot in your live stream. Did you not have it then, or?
No, I just got it on Friday.
Okay. I wondered.
Yeah, and I've been thinking about it for a while. It wasn't just something I just rushed into, you know what I mean? Like I've literally been thinking about it for quite a while.
Okay.
It was a judgment call I made after heavy thinking. And
Yeah, I
I'm
get
really
that.
glad I did get that too.
And it was
I'm actually
mainly
really glad I did get it.
for the sleep, right? Is that kind of where
Yeah,
you're
dude,
at?
after sleeping shitty for so damn long, it just really starts to beat you down, dude.
Oh
Like, it
yeah,
was
for
getting
sure.
rough. After, a month and a half, 2 months of shitty sleep, it's like, dude, I need some rest.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's hard to function, man, when you can't sleep.
Yeah.
The
Feels
worst.
good.
It's hard to do anything. Yeah, it's hard to
Mm-hmm.
do live streams, and it's hard to go out there and drive people around an Uber all damn day long. It's
Dang,
like
for
life
real.
has to go on.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you because
So,
you said that like you were kind of doing your Uber driving around your sleep schedule, so you would get up super early in the morning. Is that partly why you kind of started doing a lot more Uber, was because you couldn't sleep?
that's exactly why. Yeah, I was like, well, what the hell else am I gonna do? I'm wide awake, and it's 4:30 in the morning. I might as well go try to make some money.
Right. Right.
So are you
that's what
cutting
I've
back
been
on that a
doing.
little bit, or no?
So now I've kind of switched my time around. I've kind of done like, when I get up in the morning, and then I'll do some afternoon stuff after the rush hour traffic starts to kick in. And sometimes like I went out, oh my gosh, we had the biggest snowstorm this weekend, and I was out there driving like a madman in 5-6 inches of snow. It's because no other drivers were out. So I was
Wow.
getting some ride after ride. It was pretty adventurous, but my little car did damn good. I couldn't believe how good it was doing up there.
Have you seen that the girl who you used to bring to the methadone clinic, who you invited to your channel? Have you seen her since, or no?
I actually picked somebody else up in her neighborhood the other day, and I saw her getting into another Uber, but I haven't I haven't talked to her. I think I drove her like 3 or 4 times, and I haven't seen her for a while since then. But yeah, she never made it to any of the live streams. I don't know if she just forgot about it or what, but it's weird. I've been actually driving quite a few people to like methadone clinic, right? And people who are just getting out of jail, and they talk
Wow.
about, how they're on methadone, and like I've been driving a lot of people on methadone lately. So it must be
And
pretty
I would
big
love
in
to
the
hear some of
area.
your stories, bro.
That's pretty
Your
interesting.
Uber stories.
Yeah,
You
seriously.
gotta do some Uber stories, bro, on
Yeah,
your channel.
You said you were going
I
to
know.
at
I
some
need
point.
to.
That would
Yeah.
be fun.
Yeah, I actually have a video. I have a video I recorded when I was trying to save this lady from getting a DUI. She was pulled over at like 2:30, 3 in the morning, just passed out in her car, and I recorded the whole thing. So I need to post that sometime
Oh,
soon.
wow.
Wait, you recorded her
Yeah.
passed out in her car?
So I recorded me going up to her and knocking on the window and like waking her up, like her door was unlocked, and I'm like,
Epic.
hey, you need a ride home? I tried to give her a ride home, and she was just she started getting rude at the end. I was like, well, good luck.
Wow.
Wow.
We gotta see that, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I need to post
I
it
would
soon.
love to see that. Wow.
Yeah. It's coming soon.
Rachel says to you, Kevin, I think you made a good call. And then Brandon wants to know, the weightlifting didn't help you sleep, Kevin?
No, in fact, like leg day started having me it kind of triggered like a minor RLS in me here in the last month or
Oh
two.
dang.
So leg days were kind of like, it kind of pumped me a little bit. never really had like full blown RLS like I did when I came off the awesome. But there were definitely some nights that I was like, my legs aren't feeling too good.
Yeah.
But tell Rachel, thank you. I think I made the right choice too.
Yeah. Hopefully I'm not, well, never mind. All right, let's see. Does anybody have anything else that they want to talk about? I just got a text message from like 2 different people around me, and they all lost power, so I'm kind of waiting.
Man, a lot of people losing power, huh?
Yeah, the wind is crazy. It's crazy. So again, like if the stream just cuts off, it's because my power went out. All right, let's see. Yeah, I talked about everything that I wrote down to talk about. Kevin, I don't know how probably because you have so many comments, like how you stay so like busy in your live streams. I feel like half the time I'm just sitting here like, so guys.
Just talk.
I can't.
No, you're doing good.
You're doing good. You're doing great.
We're just chilling. No pressure. We're just chilling, girl.
I know. Rachel said she's going to try to come up in a little bit, but can you guys just chit chat for like 2 seconds? Because I have to go to the bathroom.
Yep. It's good to be here, guys.
What's up, Jen? Yeah, absolutely. I was enjoying your live stream earlier.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you stopping by, bro.
That was epic, man.
Yeah.
It was a little harsh,
I really
but
love how
hey.
Yeah, you did good. I love you can feel the emotion. You can feel the emotion through the stream, so it's awesome.
Yeah. I'll have those days, when the Father just puts it on my heart to just let it go, let it loose.
Yeah.
Say what's on your mind, say it. And that's what happened today, and it was cool. It was cool. It's funny because when I do live streams like that, you'll see the attendance fluctuate. So like people will come and go. They hear something I say, they're like, "Oh no, I don't like what he said. Bye." But when I do live streams on like addiction or millennial reign of Christ, man, you'll see it just flood. People will just come in, 30, 40 people. That's what they want to hear. That's why, that's for the most part. That's what they want to hear.
Yeah, Slow-Mo, did you do a live stream this weekend?
I didn't. No,
Postponed it.
I took the weekend off because.
I was gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon.
I didn't see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I just needed some time off, man, and we're starting a Bible study. I had to postpone that as well, just for mental health reasons, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need a break,
Yeah, don't take on more than you can take on, man. You're going through a lot right now, so be good to yourself, bro.
Yeah, I agree. Like you can push the Bible study out as far as you need to. I feel bad because I feel like I kind of like prompted this whole thing to start. So I'm like, well, I can't keep talking crap about the Bible until I actually read it. So you're like, let's do a Bible study. I can't believe you guys can't. Can you guys hear the wind at all? It's so strong.
I don't hear nothing.
I hope Marky's okay. He was having like really bad weather down there. I haven't heard from him.
Yeah, he was. He took a picture.
Oh.
Yeah, he sent it to the Discord. That's pretty bad.
All right, I'll check. Let's see. No, Brandon, you can come up. I'll post the link again.
Brandon.
So Kevin, you liked your part of the poem?
Right. We didn't get to hear a response
awesome.
Yet.
I was like, I hope he doesn't get offended.
That was awesome. No, hell no. I was cracking up when I heard that.
It's so funny. I still don't think KG Smith has heard it. I'll just send her the link. I think she's the only one.
Are you sure? I thought I saw a comment that she didn't.
Oh, was she
to that video?
I don't know. I'll have to check.
She did because I responded to it.
Okay. I will check. Yeah, Rachel, just let us know when you can come up.
Bro, Kev, whatever happened to Mama Deb?
She just rolled on with her life, I think. I think she's got a new hunk in her life, a new man, and I think she's
That's
just
good.
all sitting with him, and yeah. That's the last I've heard, really. I haven't heard much from her. I think, is it Marky talks to her sometime, or somebody talks to her
I think it was Marky.
occasionally?
Yeah.
Marky's
Yeah,
talking to everybody.
Does she post? Does she post very often, Kimmy? Do you see her posting?
Are you, if you're talking about where I think you're talking about, I left
Yeah.
it. I had to.
Oh, you
Marky
did?
says it was impulsive, but I did.
What?
Yeah.
That was your shit, girl.
I know. I could always go back. It's still there. Everybody else. Huh?
There must be more to it than I know.
Marquis says Mama Deb is doing great. Good to hear.
Kimmy, do you want me to read your poem?
Oh yeah. So I refuse to write a verse about myself in that poem because hello, like that would be weird. So Morrison's like, well, he listened to the poem that I wrote and he made a verse for me. And I don't know as it rhymes. It goes with a poem, but go ahead.
Yeah, it doesn't. You know, I'm not a poet like Kimmy, but this is my attempt at a poem for her.
Nervous.
So, Kimmy is brilliant, delightful, and sings like an angel. She is a bright light to the recovery community. She mispronounces words like Tuscan, stays up too late, she be lustin'. Your girl's got needs, yo. She makes us all laugh, you know.
You know, I always say
know.
in live streams, and I never say it in real life. I don't know why I do it. It drives me crazy. You know.
Exactly. We do know.
Florida man says you know a lot too. I don't know if
Does
you guys
he?
notice that. You know.
Do you ever do that? Like,
yeah.
do you ever say things in live stream when you watch them back and you're like, why do I keep saying that? Like, I don't talk like that, you know? God,
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah, I tend to say yo a lot, but it is what it is,
I don't
yo.
remember what my filler word is.
I always say, I feel like.
I know I have a.
Like.
Is that what I say?
No, that's what I say. I don't know what kind of siren that is, but I've never heard it before.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Kind of scary. Marky says her, Zach, and I were just texting about this giant East Coast storm.
What kind of storm are they getting over there?
It's all of us. We're all getting
we're all getting
wind.
We're all getting hit.
Horrible.
Kev. That's crazy.
Yeah, my power went out last night, Kev.
It's too warm.
Is it the snow?
It's a warm front, at least here.
So I mean, on like the Weather Channel, it was saying possible blizzards, possible floods, possible tornadoes, possible fire warning, like all these freaking everything, man. But the winds are just kicking up like crazy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they were having like tornadoes from Texas to Florida.
We got hit with a really big snowstorm finally this weekend. We had probably at least a foot of snow over the weekend.
All right. I'm gonna pull Brandon up. Or not. Wait.
He's audio only. Oh, there he is.
Oh, there he is. What's up?
What's up, guys?
How's it going?
What up?
What's up, Brandon?
Do you have any updates you want to share?
Not really.
Oh. Alrighty then.
He's like, nope.
Okay.
No,
Brandon,
I'm good right now.
Brandon,
What's up?
Are you back on Suboxone, Brandon? Isn't that what you said last?
Yep.
That's good, man. How are you feeling?
I'm hanging in there. I'm good.
That's good, dude. You've been making videos?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I'm working on editing them right now.
What are you
A lot of work.
smoking?
Vape.
Oh, nicotine? Ugh, y'all are vaping.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I've actually been having a lot of nicotine cravings lately. A lot of nicotine cravings.
Yeah, I need to quit.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like everybody's vaping now. All around me, everybody's vaping, and it kind of makes me want to try it, but then I'm like, no, that's the last thing I need to do.
Yeah,
You
stick to your
never
gums, yo.
Yeah, right. Kevin, did you ever smoke cigarettes or do anything with nicotine or no? You say you thought it like you always thought it was disgusting because you like one of your parents smoked maybe or something like that?
Yeah, my dad would always smoke inside his apartment, and I just hated it. So I've never smoked one cigarette. I've never smoked any tobacco ever.
That's
Yeah,
good, man.
that is really good.
These lungs are pure, baby.
Hey, keep them
But
that
that's
way.
about the only thing. That's
Yeah,
about the only
right?
thing that's pure.
Hey, keep them that way, bro. For real.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
It's hard to quit, man. Seriously.
Yeah, I still
Yeah,
chew
I saw how
nicotine
hard it
gum.
was for my mom to quit.
I quit for years and then I went out to the bar one night and got a little drunk and thought, you know what? If I smoke a cigarette right now, I won't remember it tomorrow. And I probably wouldn't have remembered it, but I could taste it. So I started chewing nicotine gum and I alternate now between like regular gum, but I always have gum in my mouth, whether it's regular gum or nicotine gum, and I hate it. I hate it. But at this point, I'm like, man, I quit everything else. I feel like that's like the one last thing to give me like a little boost of something.
I
Every
get
time I
that.
say now, I'm not gonna be able to, I'm gonna be self-conscious every time I say you know.
It's all good, yo. I'm just gonna start saying yo more.
Um, let's see. I think they had an earthquake, a pretty substantial earthquake last week, right, Brandon, in California?
Yeah, it was a pretty big one too.
Yeah, 4.2 on the Magnum scale.
On a magnum scale.
I missed. I screwed my words up again. The
You did
Richter
on,
scale.
I think you just did it on purpose.
I did this time, but I didn't the first time I said it. You don't ever get earthquakes where you're at, Kevin, do you?
Actually, yeah, we had a pretty serious one right around the time of the Roni.
Really?
But before that we haven't had one for a long time, but yeah, we had a really pretty serious one happen about 4 years ago. I think it was somewhere in there.
Oh wow. There's only one
Yeah, it
earthquake
was
we've ever
scary.
had here that I could feel. That's terrifying to me. I can't imagine like waiting every day for an earthquake. How often does it happen in California that you can feel them though, Brandon?
Uh, every other month or so.
Okay. That's a lot.
Yeah, that kind of is.
A lot. Let's see. I feel like everybody who's normally in my live streams is up on panel right now. So there's like not very many people in the comments. Marky, do you want to come up with some kind of question to ask us? Since you're just hanging out. I should have come up with more questions.
I mean, you could ask Brandon those questions, right? He has an answer if he wants to.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, I gotta find them again because I exited out of them. So just give me 1 second. Let's see. Brandon, at this time in your recovery, is your mental health better or worse than it was in active addiction?
It's for sure better than it was, but I still got a ways to go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What specific challenges do you face in maintaining good mental health and or recovery?
Can you repeat that one more time?
Sure. What specific challenges do you face in maintaining good mental health and recovery?
Um, like wanting to use again. Um, you know, just try to, like to stay sober. Um, I don't know.
Do you, now that you're back on the oral Suboxone, do you still struggle with cravings or no?
Not right now, no.
Okay. Okay, good.
But with the Sublocade you did, you had more cravings.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Well, Marky, I know your voice is shot, but you can type them in the chat. Brandon, how has life changed for you since entering recovery?
How has life changed? Well, I've grown a more better relationship with the Lord.
Oh, I just noticed Kevin wasn't in here anymore.
I think Kevin asked you a question in the chat too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I'm reading it.
Yeah. How different do you feel on Suboxone versus Sublocade? Could you point out to some people if there's any differences that you notice?
How different do you feel on this boxing versus Sublocade? I feel about the same, but I don't know. I don't know how to answer that one.
Ooh.
What?
Sorry, power flickered. It scared me. Sorry.
But point out some people.
Yeah, Kevin, thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate it a lot. We love you. All right, let's see. We're going on about an hour and 40 minutes. So I think maybe, and we'll wrap it up in 20 or so minutes, if that's okay with you guys. We still haven't heard. I thought Gonzo might come. No pressure. Maybe if you're ghost listening, Gonzo, we miss you. Obviously Megan's without power. Rachel, we wish you were here too.
For sure.
Kevin says, I love y'all. Thanks for having me on, babies. Kevin says, is Gonzo okay? I spoke to him earlier.
How do you guys break away from addiction?
I really think my power is about to go out.
Mal said, how do you guys break away from addiction?
It's not easy, man. It's a choice. That's
Right.
where I'm at.
Yep.
You're never, I mean, that's what I was getting at. You're never going to be ready. I know Kimmy disagrees, but for me, I'm never going to be ready. it has to be a decision. And for me, I have to put my relationship with Christ first over what I'm feeling, over, you know, my struggles, and just have to step out in faith and make
Yeah,
the decision not to use.
I agree.
Yep.
So, Tala and Brandon, you feel similar to that?
Yep.
Hmm.
I second that.
Cool. I can't honestly really think of an answer to that question. How do you break away from addiction? At least for me, I don't know as I necessarily do. Like I said before, I don't struggle to stay in recovery every day. I don't at all. At least not right now. That's not to say that I didn't have cravings on and off since I've been off of Suboxone, because I have. But like I said, I've learned now that I just want to soothe myself. It's not that I'm craving opioids specifically. I want to feel safe. I want to feel better in my head. But I can tell you right now, if I were to take opioids again, I like my addiction is still there. You know what I mean? It didn't go
Yeah,
anywhere.
yeah,
Um, but some people can. I mean, some people can go, like I was saying to some people earlier, like, there's a surgery that I would like to have, but I right now will not have it because I don't trust myself with pain pills. I don't feel, even if I give it to a family member or friend to monitor my intake, I don't trust myself. I'm gonna enjoy the way it feels. So I'm pushing that surgery back until if I ever get to a place where I feel like I can safely take opioids for pain.
oh, trust me. 5 days ago, I took Dilaudid, and like for a split second, it was like, oh yeah, I missed this. It was
Yeah.
that thought, and then you
But
just
but
have
then
to.
you knew you didn't want to go down that road, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I've been having cravings ever since I got off subs, but and sometimes I indulge it more than other times where it starts getting in my head, but I just have to redirect my thoughts, man, because it's I mean, once you go down these roads, I mean, it's always going to be waiting for you, right? You're one decision away from just being right back where you were.
Yeah.
So it comes down to the decision and minimizing like who you're around. You don't want to be around people that are using, going to places where you might use, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I know I think all the time, like, what would I do if I burned my hand or I had some sort of really painful injury? Like the surgery that I'm considering is elective. I don't have to have it. You know what I mean? But like, what if something comes up and not that I have to take opioids, but that, it's just something like a really painful injury. To be honest with you, I don't know what I would do. I really don't. I don't know how I would handle it.
Yeah, we had that very discussion right before that happened to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to take pain medicine. And then when you're in that, when you're having like a 9 out of 10 pain, it's like, what are you going to do in that moment?
Right. Right. Yeah. I, I couldn't tell you what I would do. I couldn't tell you.
I had to. I mean, because a burn is like one of the worst pains.
All right.
Oh yeah.
But
Gonzo just
Yeah.
sent me a message. He's like, I think I might have missed your stream. No, we're still here.
yeah, come up, Gonzo. We're waiting.
Yeah. Mike says his tooth is split in half and it's hurting so bad on and off for a few days. And I have a bunch of real painkillers and I'm still going strong. Hard to not want to take one of those real 30. Yeah. See, and I
Dude,
know
yeah. If I had those, that's why I don't hold on to those.
I can't keep that stuff. Like, you guys know, I was in a situation months back where they weren't even mine, but I was in a home where regularly where I knew they had bottles of Norco and Oxy, and I knew they were there. And so it was always a thought in the back of my head. If I was having a bad day, if I was stressed out, my thoughts immediately went to that drawer where I knew those pain pills were, and I had to I had to make them aware of it so they could get rid of them. I couldn't do it. I wasn't safe for me to be in an environment where it was always in the back of my head that there were pills there for me to take.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and that goes to minimizing your, you know, your access to it, right?
Right. Right. Um, so yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, you could be anywhere and come across it. So
That's
you
true.
kind of have to. I mean, it just comes back to the decision. Like you have to really think things through. Like Kevin was talking about, he thought it through before he took the Sublocade shot. Like you can't just make split-second decisions to go use and throw it all away.
Right.
Right.
But you also minimize the potential of that happening. Like there's in my head, there's no point in why would I do that to myself? And look, we
Yeah.
know that sometimes I do torture myself. It happens. But like, why am I going to intentionally put myself in the position where I have to have these on my mind all the time because they're there?
Yeah, for sure.
You know? So Big Mal says, nice to meet you, brother B. Brandon.
You guys would make good friends.
Yeah.
He's like, hello.
Big Maul and Big Brandon.
Yeah.
All right. Does anybody have anything else that they want to talk about as we kind of wrap this up? I appreciate you guys coming on here. Mike says, like Mo just said, I have to make the decision every day not to. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I'm at, man.
Yeah.
It's a humbling thing to like think you're. I mean, maybe I shouldn't say I haven't been in recovery, but like for me, just having realizations where it's like it's a day at a time, like not even a day at a time thing right now for me. It's like a thought at a time. Like as soon as I get the thought, like, oh, you know, I could go do this, like I
Hey,
have
what's
to
up?
redirect
I'm going to mute
myself.
you for a minute, Brandon.
I have
Right.
to redirect my thoughts, not get stuck in a thought loop. Pray about it, you know, read scripture, and not indulge the carnal things.
Yeah. Yeah. I like how you said that. Not get stuck in a thought loop. I be doing that sometimes.
Yeah, bro.
It sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I just muted myself for a minute because the dog barking. Gonzo says he'll come up shortly, but kind of want to get ready to wind it down a little bit. We're going on almost 2 hours.
Yeah, I got to get dinner prepped too.
Yeah,
So
I'm starving. I'm so hungry. And like I said, I would rather end it before if it gets cut off from the power going out.
yeah.
Your power's not going out.
It might not, but I also like, you know, it may. But like I said, I really appreciate you guys coming up.
Yep. Always welcome.
Yeah, I think it was a good stream. It was a good
It
stream.
was.
It was. I enjoyed it.
Absolutely. So does anybody have anything else that they want to say before we say goodnight?
Nah, stay safe, man. Just stay safe. Be on the lookout. Be alert. You know. And
Yeah,
good luck on your recovery.
You too.
Yep.
for
Yep.
sure, man.
It's a great
But,
message.
I'm gonna go ahead
Yep.
and head out, guys. I gotta get this dinner prepped up real quick. My kids are hungry. So
Okay.
it was
All right.
good.
All right.
Good being here.
Yes.
God bless Tala.
Yeah,
Thanks
see
for
you,
coming,
see you on
Tyler.
Proud
the,
of you, bro.
see you on the next
Proud
one.
of you.
Yep. Love y'all, man.
Much
Love ya.
love.
All right, guys. Let's end it here and say goodnight. And oh, there goes Brandon. All right, Morrison. Thanks for coming on. Thank you, everybody else. I love you guys, and we'll see y'all soon.
All right.
All
Much
right.
love, everybody.
Night.
Peace.